Hello world, welcome to Parallel Existence where the possibilities are endless. So yeah, I said, at least in my head or in just some people, that I was gonna make a video at least once a week. And here we are almost like 3 months later, and I don't think it's been 3 months, but anyway, it's been a minute. I also told myself that I didn't want to rush anything, and I didn't want to do or say things that didn't feel right. So I didn't make videos because what I wanted to say didn't necessarily feel right at the time. There were things that I wanted to get out, and they sort of made it out into social media via Twitter or Tumblr. Some only made it into my notebooks, but there has been a lot of different conflicts in my head. I've always been looking for what it is that I'm here to do, and I came across the idea that none of it really matters, that whatever we end up doing at the end, that was the plan. Either you end up as a bum or you become someone who creates a car without wheels. It doesn't really matter at the end because it was part of consciousness and what it wanted to learn and what it wanted to experience. So maybe that little tentacle of consciousness just wanted to know what it was like to be afraid all the time. And there's people that are living it every day. It doesn't make it wrong, it doesn't make it less valuable. It's just another experience. It's equally valuable to the person next to you who may or may not be smarter or more creative than you. I think we're stuck constantly in the idea that the more you know, the more you have, the more power and value you have, and it doesn't necessarily feel right to me. I don't think it's right. There's also no right and wrong, so see what I mean? There's a lot of conflicting ideas in my head. Anyway, in the beginning I wanted to make this channel for people who were already seeking alignment so that I wouldn't have to explain any of it, but I realized that there's a lot of people who were like me in the beginning, where we're looking for someone to relate to, someone who is pretty much in the same position as them. I'm no spiritual teacher, and I don't have the knowledge that a lot of these people on the internet have. And by these people, I mean people like Infinite Waters, Steel Swan, Bentino Mazzaro, the spiritual artisan. I forget your name, boo, but you're the shit. I don't have the knowledge or the experience that these people have. And I'm not in any shape or form trying to be one of them. However, I just wanted to share what I have learned so far and how I've come to understand the things that have helped me be less worried. I feel like most of us live in this fear of like not having money, not gonna have enough to eat tomorrow, not have enough money to feed your pets, or just not having a place to live tomorrow if you quit the job that it's driving you crazy. I can't say that I not worry anymore about those things. I still do, but I'm not necessarily constantly thinking about it, or I don't feel that fear inside me of like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? How can I make more money? What can I do tomorrow? What can I do right now? I'm just letting go of all of those things that make us worry. This leaves you with this peace inside and this feeling of freedom. Freedom is a very complex word, only because people living here in America think that they're free. A lot of us think that we're not free, and then there's part of us that believes that yes, we are free if we choose to. Freedom is a choice. I'm still obviously conflicted with that one, but what I do believe is that the point of all of it is to just enjoy and experience every incident, activity, experience that just comes across us or in our path. We're here to experience and to feel everything that we can possibly go through, whether it's good or bad. And like I said, at the end, it doesn't really matter whether you won 5 Grammys or you almost OD'd 5 times. It's all the same. They're just experiences. And we're the ones that decide whether or not they're good or bad. They're not. And perhaps one of them might be detrimental to your health, but the other one might be detrimental to your mind, your sense of freedom. So what difference does it make? Why judge? So anyway, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this, it's because I had a coworker ask me, where does one learn about this? And he just hit me like, not a lot of people know about this stuff. And some people might think it's a joke. I can't necessarily pinpoint to consciousness and show it to you and have it there for you to look at. Because it's not necessarily how it is. It's just like anything else in life, or in the universe, it's just energy. So to me, consciousness is everything and anything. The universe, any force, any will within you, that is consciousness. So we have consciousness, and then we have us, humans. Then we have aliens, we have animals, we have trees. So think of consciousness as the head of the octopus. And I think the spiritual artisan, he kind of explained it this way, and this is why I love him so much, because he pretty much put it into a perspective that I was able to understand. But anyway, so there's consciousness. Every tentacle is kind of like a soul that goes into a living thing, and this living thing, which could essentially be you, has a brain. So you have your consciousness, your soul, so to speak, and then you have your ego or your brain. So when you're thinking like, who makes the thoughts? Is it my consciousness or is it my ego? When you have like gut instincts or like creative thoughts, that is your consciousness talking to you, like kind of guiding you. And when you have thoughts like, I'm hungry. Am I hungry, or am I just anxious and I want to eat something because that will distract me from my anxiousness? Feelings that feel good to you, that's your consciousness. So it'll never be, when they say trust your gut feeling, that's exactly why. Some of us are still learning to reconnect with that because we built a life in which we taught ourselves how not to feel. So when you try to do that, it's very, very, very complicated and very difficult to reconnect with it. So if you have it, please don't lose it. This octopus head, just consciousness, the whole purpose of its existence is because it wants to know itself. It wants to know every tentacle, how every tentacle could potentially feel, do, or say. So it could either be a human or an alien or whatever, like I said. And each one of those strands is equally valuable because it's each one teaching a lesson. We sign up to whatever life we choose to because we know that it's going to help us understand a specific like idea or lesson. Anyway, so all of those. And then we're here, right? We're queer. Then there's a whole bunch of other things we are here to experience, like our feelings. The reason there are tools like meditation and even religion is because there's a whole lot more than we are taught to believe. We either get socialized or we get freedom. I feel like religions are a little more restricting than just believing in expansion and universal truth. I feel like that's a little bit more liberating than just believing in something that at the end of the day it's you. when people refer to God, we refer to it as consciousness. Whether or not it's anything different, it's ultimately us. It's not what they said with like the Catholic or Christian religion that God is or made us in its own reflection or something like that. It's the same thing. It's referring to the idea that we are the same as consciousness, the same as anything that we think of as more powerful. We tend to believe that we're not as powerful as some people who are a little bit more knowledgeable, and like Teal Swan, for example. Some people might believe that she's like a god and they put her on a pedestal. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of did too in the beginning. But then I really listened carefully to what she had to say, and truth is that she's just a reflection of me. She's something that I haven't awakened within me. So I'm working towards being my best version of myself, using the tools that she's able to provide for us. I think that if people saw the world that way, there would be less things to worry about, like robberies or killings or wars. Because really, what are we trying to do by being at war with another force? Like, there's gangs that fight against each other. Oh, for what? For power? What power do you get, really? I mean, perhaps as a collective unit, they are more powerful than the other one that they attacked. But if you split them up, they're really nothing. But if we thought of ourselves as the powerful beings that we are, if we were to awaken that power within us, if we were to awaken telekinesis, is that what it's called? Telepathy, clairvoyance, we could wake up all these things. There's actually books on them. Here's one. How to do psychic readings through touch. You might think, well, somebody wrote that bullshit and it's not true. Have you tried it? I can't read a book to save my life, so I haven't tried it. But my point is that we are capable of doing so much that when we get socialized, we think that we can't do anything. That our capabilities are limited to what we are good at. Some people might be good at math, so then they become accountants. And along the lines, they make one or two mistakes because they're not completely aware, and then somebody else takes their position. Somebody else moves along faster than them. It's happened to me at work multiple times. And part of me feels sad, and then another part of me, it's like, well, is that really what you want to begin with? We tend to blame ourselves for not being the best, because we're taught that we need to be the best in order to have more value. I'm sorry, but I feel just as valuable as anyone who's gone ahead of me when it comes to a career, when it comes to the amount of money we earn. What really matters to you, you have to find out for yourself. You have to find the core belief of why you feel that way, why you think that. And once you realize that it's because you were socialized that way, you might change your mind. You might not want to pursue a job that gives you more money and makes you more stressed. You might want to pursue a job that pays you less but makes you a lot more happy. Kind of my case in this. Trying to learn how to live without that much money. It's been hard. But I've learned not to worry so much. Anyway, I think I went a little off topic and I don't really know what I'm talking about anymore, but I did not want to use my laptop to record this, but here I am. Recording my damn laptop because I don't know what happened to my camera. I guess after all I really want to say is that there's no reason to worry. There's no reason to hate your neighbor, to hate someone else, to really have any bad feelings within you. If you understood all this, how we're all equally valuable, and your race, your sexual orientation, your gender, none of that matters. You're a strand of consciousness coming from the collective consciousness, which is all of us together. The reason these people are looked up to is because they have found a way to be the best version of themselves. And that's why they excel at everything they're doing, is because they've put their effort into finding what exactly they like and perfecting it. That's what we need to do, but there's always all these things that make us take a detour in our path. I'm still on the journey. I'm still a seeker. I'm still seeking my own version of myself. So I can't be the best version of myself if I don't even know who I am. I feel like a different person every day, so I'm still trying, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I'm 27, about to be 28, and I'm still in my midlife crisis. You know what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm happy and I like what I'm learning, and I just like my life. Whether or not it's better than I once expected it to be by the time I was this age. When I was younger, I never thought about being older because I didn't think I was ever going to even approach that age. And now I'm like super close to my 30s, and I still feel like I'm 21, and I'm never gonna get older. I think part of it is because I don't want more responsibilities. I don't want to be in charge of other things. I just want to do what I like, even though I don't necessarily know what that is just yet. But I guess the moral of the story is you just live, experience everything and anything you come across. Feel it. If one day you decide you want to go to the park by yourself, what is it like to sit there by yourself? How does it make you feel? Why does it make you feel that way? It makes you feel sad because you're by yourself. What does that mean to you? When was the first time you felt that way? I feel like teal right now, but it's true. Like really, if we found the core beliefs of everything that we think of, we would be much happier people. And I say that because I try it within me. I've been trying those things, and sometimes I'm just an asshole when I come home because I have so many thoughts in my head. And sometimes I'm the happiest person on earth because I learned something about myself the night before, and today I feel lighter. I don't know. I guess what I would like for you guys to do is to go for it. Experience it. If it feels good, it's good.